We've made a few of these videos now where we go through different product categories and talk through our experience with them and tell you guys why we've picked a particular product as our favorite. This is the hardest product category to test.
Well, this is ceramic coatings, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens with the ceramic coating is you do all the hard groundwork. You might be polishing the paint for a ceramic coating. You might be polishing glass, cleaning the glass. You might be cleaning wheels for a coating. And these coatings are generally have a long longevity to them. So a year plus in some cases.
A year. I mean, a lot of them advertise as 9 years. 5 years.
And so it's really hard to test. And when you have a customer come through the shop and you're putting a ceramic coating on it and you give them a 5-year coating, you want to hope that you're going to get, you know, some good longevity out of it, but it's also really hard to test. And so if we had a customer come in and we put some random ceramic coating on a car and sent it out the door, it might last 6 months. And then what do we do about it? And so from that point of view, Glenn and I need to be really certain that we are delivering a ceramic coating that's going to hold up to the claims, it's going to hold up to our expectations and the customer's expectations, so there's no complaints. And so you're right, from that point of view, it is really hard to test a ceramic coating in real world conditions. And so what you'll see here is you'll see a selection of stuff. There's some products here we haven't tried. There's some wheel coatings, glass coatings, some other coatings, and a bunch of other products that we've used that we don't have the bottles for.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty limited, you know, selection of products just because it is really hard to test.
So what Glenn's saying there is there are products we have tried where we haven't retained the bottles as well. So there's more than what we've got on the table here that we've tested.
And so we have been pretty narrow-minded in the way that we've used a ceramic coating. We've used a lot of G-Technic products.
Yep.
We're happy with the way they perform, and that's the category that we use. We've used it a lot. We've got a lot of experience. We know how that works in our environments. And these have had some real-world testing, specifically on one of the blue Subarus. This Crystal Serum Light has lasted well over 5 years, if well maintained and looked after by us.
Yep.
And it's also been hit with a whole heap of chemicals, so I'm absolutely positive that coating will do the distance. Omni Garage and Glenn and I, we are accredited installers of the G-Technic products, and so that's how we can put Crystal Serum Ultra onto your vehicle, because we are an accredited installer of that product. And so we are definitely heavily weighted towards that, and it's just based on the fact that we know that this product's going to perform, and we can put that to your vehicle and be happy that we're going to have no complaints.
I think the thing here as well is that the coatings that we are going to offer and apply to customer vehicles, we have had to test them ourselves because we need to understand how the product performs. And when you're dealing with a coating, you can't just easily put them on and take them off. We have to live with it for a while. And we want to make sure that we are 100% behind the coating, where we can say to a customer, hey, we have this on our car. You know, which one should I use? Well, hey, we've got these, we've used them. We can give you, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of experience, and we can back it that way. It's not an easy product category to try and experiment with. Hence why we've got a few unopened bottles that we need to get to at some point soon.
And there are a lot of ceramic coatings onto the market. Basically, every big detailing company or product range has got a ceramic coating on it. And I would say that most of these products would perform relatively the same.
Yep.
They might have a slightly difference in their application process. They might have a few annoying things along the way. They might have a slightly less longevity, slightly more. But I would say a lot of them perform relatively the same. And so you start to get to this like very narrow, I suppose, diminishing return, is that if I try this product, am I going to get slightly longer? Well, you may not. And so that's why we have stick with G-Technic, because of the safety around it and the performance.
Yeah, and characteristics, what we're looking for a coating, price doesn't matter. We'll pay whatever we need to pay for a coating, because number one, we want to protect our car, but you also, that's a cost that you are passing on to a client. So cost is not a factor that comes into play. A couple of things that do is, number one, ease of installation. So we want to make sure that it's not too finicky and being in a perfect environment to install it. And what I mean by that is you're not in like a very narrow temperature window. So it's got to be easy to install. And then what we're looking for is performance out of it. So what are the hydrophobics like? And I think that starts with actually applying the product. Like, what's the user experience like when we're putting it on?
How slick it is.
Does it feel slick? Yeah, you're right. But for us, then it's getting it out in the real world, and how does it perform? What does it react like in the rain? How does it clean? So what are the hydrophobics like? Is it layerable? So products like G-Technic, you've got your base layer, which is your CSL or your Crystal Serum Ultra, but you can top it with their companion product, which is XO V5, which is something that after 12 months, 18 months, you could reapply as well. Those are the factors that are important for us. It's not price, it's not slap it on, wipe it off. We're happy to take the time, and we're happy to do 2 layers of a product as well if that's going to get the best results.
And we've been using the G-Technic coatings for 5 years, 6 years, something like that. So we do have quite a lot of experience. We've never had a complaint from a customer about the performance of the product, and they also get given a warranty card, and so there's some extra benefits around that. And G-Technic just continue to develop. I mean, like XO V5 there, I think we've had V4 as well in the past.
This now 3 times, the V5 product, and I mean this is fantastic. The great thing about this now, previously you had to do 1 layer of the base coating, so CSL, 2 layers of XO. Now it is 1 layer, 1 layer. So instantly, that for us saves us probably about 2.5 hours per vehicle, and then also additional time where we have to wait for it to cure, maybe keep the car overnight again. So refinements definitely in the G-Technic lineup.
So since we're talking about ceramic coatings, you can see here that there's a graphene product here by Ethos. I've applied this bottle here to 1 car.
We had a customer actually request this. So he said, hey, can I pick my ceramic coating and you guys apply that for me rather than doing the G-Technic? We talked about the benefits of, what we know and use regularly, but he was like, no, I really want this product here. So hence we bought a bottle, and I think we've got, I know it's the glass one there behind it, isn't it? So Ethos product was quite grabby.
It was quite grabby, so it wasn't as slick as the G-Technic product to apply. I mean, it was really user-friendly. I think it's a very entry-level ceramic coating. But yeah, just the wipe on and the wipe off was quite grabby. I have no real-world claims about how it's performing out in the environment out there. The customer's never brought the car back, so I don't know how it's performing. Is it still on there? I don't know. He hasn't come back to us and complained about it, but that was also his choice to put it on there. But I just know in the application process, really user-friendly, but not as slick as the CSL product that we've used.
I see we've got quite a bit of product left in the bottle there as well. That's the thing, XO and CSL, we can buy in either a 30 milliliter or a 50 milliliter, and we know how far that product goes depending on what kind of car we're working on. Not quite the same in all of the other products as well.
Is that glass coating?
That's the glass one. Another one that's not on the table here that we've had a lot of experience with is by CarPro. It's their Seaquartz UK 3.0. Would have used that probably half a dozen times, and that's teamed up with the CarPro Gliss product as well. So that's the equivalent of the XO. I find that was, user application process, pretty easy, really affordable product as well. Just where I found that product let us down a little bit is we did have a lot of cars that were coming back after the fact, and I could just tell compared to the hydrophobics and the behavior of the G-Technic products, it wasn't on par. It was definitely subpar to that. But really economical and easy to apply product as well.
And also you could buy that just from the store. You didn't have to be an installer.
Correct.
And we could get it relatively easily here in New Zealand. You can buy CSL and XO without being accredited installer, but you can't buy the Crystal Serum Ultra.
Ultra, yeah. And I mean, the differences here is I think this is advertised as maybe 5-year versus 9-year. It's the hardness. This coating here, if you get it wrong as well, you have to wet sand to remove it.
Yeah, so we've applied that a couple of times now. You definitely have to be a lot more careful about it. You're more prone to getting high spots. It flashes really quickly. So you do have to know what you're doing with it, but it's not completely impossible to apply. You do have to be careful. It's definitely slicker. It performs just like CSL. I'm not sure about the longevity claims. We've had it on for a couple of years now on a couple of vehicles, so we're still on that process. But yeah, it performs just as good as the CSL. But I mean, if you wanted to smash through cars, I would go with the CSL XO because it's more user-friendly.
Yep.
If you make a mistake, you can sort of justify that a lot easier.
We've also tried the G-Technic, I think it's C1, crystal lacquer product.
Yeah, more of a spray sort of sealant type.
No, that was a traditional coating in the bottle.
Yeah, right.
Just, again, it was grabby. So I would probably compare it to the Ethos graphene coating.
Yeah.
Grabby, but especially if you don't layer it with XO. Like, I think that these products here come into their own when layered with XO, but they're also very, very slick standalone. You could probably get away with applying just CSL or CSU and using a drying aid without having applying XO on top.
And so I suppose while we're talking about ceramic coatings, there's a couple here we haven't tried. So
yeah.
Pan, Clean by Pan, it's a new product to the market. We haven't had an opportunity to try it.
Is that the 8-year, I believe?
Yes, this is the 8-year.
That's the 8-year coating, so that's the That's probably a flagship. That'll be up against this one here.
So I've heard that it's pretty easy to apply. The hydrophobics are fantastic, but we haven't had the opportunity. I can't say anything about it because I've never used it. There's the Armour Detail Supply Phobic, which is a 1-year sort of spray coating. I'm quite interested in that. And now why I'm interested in that is that this Subaru over there has had CSL on it for 5 years. It's still performing really well. But what I see is that once you do a decontamination step, you could then apply that to your existing protection and it sort of boost that a little bit. So I am interested to try that. It's a spray seal. It's really user friendly. Spray it onto your microfiber or onto an applicator and wipe off like you would any other sort of spray sealant or any other type of coating. So I'm interested to try that concept. Again, haven't tried it. Can't talk about it too much, but interesting concept there.
Yeah, I think it's almost in that crossover category where you get to like the spray sealants, but that's probably more of a longer serving coating.
Well, yeah, your spray sealant's about 6 months or so, thereabouts.
But that's a spray coating.
That's a spray coating. You're going to get about a year out of it.
A little bit different. And then we've got 3 products there from Nixen. It's an Australian company. We need to try those. Again, it's just getting the amount of vehicles that we need to try these because we cannot try these on customer cars. There's no way you can do that. We need to wait until we're ready for one of our own vehicles or friend or family members that need coating. And the issue with trying a coating as well, you're right, you said at the start, preparation time. You can't just pull the car in the garage and put a coating on it. There is preparation, even if you're not going to go through a paint correction stage. It's not a quick product to get on there. So we've got 3 that
and then you've got to then wait for it to wear off. Like some of these are 5-year coatings. I mean, well, Pan's is 8 years, so we'd have to wait for 8 years to see if it's going to work, and that's a long time. Pan will be on to iteration 17 by the time that product wears off, potentially, you know. So
it's the Nixen, the Graphic Serum, and the Ceramic Professional, and then we've also got the 365 Pro there as well. So 3 products. We just need to find the vehicles to work on to get those coatings there on. Then we move into the glass coating category. And that's
do glass or wheels? Glass is here.
We'll talk about glass.
Okay, talk about glass.
So
this is by Ethos. We haven't tried it.
Yep.
We're yet to give it a crack. So I can't talk about that. But how I think about glass coatings is that I want to be able to apply this product relatively easy. So once the glass is all prepared, I want it to go on really easy. I want it to feel slick and I want the rub off to be really easy. I don't want to have to buff too hard. I then want to have really nice hydrophobics. I want that to be hydrophobic when I'm driving at low speeds because I want to not have to use my windscreen wipers.
Yep.
I want that water to shed off. Then if I do have to use my windscreen wipers, I don't want them to judder.
Yep.
I want that to be a nice smooth process. I also don't want to see that product rubbing off when I use my wipers. So some products you get this, I guess this resin strip or this hydrophobic layer of product that builds up at the end of the wiper down the windscreen. I don't want to see that. And I also want this to work really well with a drying aid or a hydrophobic glass cleaner or something. So
not smear when you're going and applying that on top of it.
Correct. And let me tell you, to tick all those boxes, that is extremely difficult to find in a product. Yep. We have tried numerous glass coatings, and in fact, the first one you applied was Wolf's.
Yes. So if we think about the products that aren't on the shelf here, or aren't on this is not a shelf, this is the table. We've tried Wolf's
Nano
Sealant. We have tried CarPro Flyby 30. CarPro Flyby Forte, Geon Quick View, this one, no, that's the wheel coating, this one, G1
glass.
On the table, so we tried G1 glass.
There's Gliss.
There is, no, that's not Gliss, that's G-Force by CarPro. We've got the Angel Wax H2Go. What else have we tried?
And every single product, except for the Angel Wax H2Go, has let us down in some area.
In one of the categories.
Might be longevity, not long enough. It might be the streaking with another glass cleaner or a spray sealant or whatever. It might be a letdown with the windscreen juddering. It might be that it was too hard to remove or you couldn't remove it. So there have been products that have let us down over time, and it's been a pursuit of ours to try and find a product that has tried to tick the boxes as best as possible.
I had high hopes for this one. This is CarPro G-Force, advertises a high clarity, super durable hydrophobic glass coating with extreme hydrophobicity from 50 kilometers an hour. No. The performance of this product here, I would only get it to start reacting at about 70 kilometers after doing a double layer on this. So what, 30, 35 miles an hour? And it just, yeah, it wasn't great.
And the G-Technic G1 glass was horrible windscreen wiper judder. The worst judder actually out of all the products I've tried.
So that's that one there. And that was applied to, you had that on the Subaru, didn't you?
And then I can't really remember what happened about Flyby Forte and
Flyby Forte,
40, and Flyby 30 was okay.
So Flyby 30, I would say is better than the CarPro G-Force. I found the performance was better, just longevity wasn't where we wanted it to be. Forte, do you remember we applied that to the orange Ford Fiesta ST?
Oh yeah.
And the application, the application process on that was horrific.
It was really hard to remove.
The removal was just, no, it was just never again we'll try that. We tried Flyby 30 3 or 4 times. I kept going back to that product. But then we discovered what really isn't a ceramic coating, it's more of a spray sealant type category, isn't
Glass
it? With
sealant?
the Angel Wax. And this has been around for a long time and we just hadn't tried it. I don't know why
So
we
this does not have any good longevity.
No, you're going to need to reapply this regularly.
A few months, right?
Yep.
A few months in longevity. So at this point, we have sacrificed longevity for really good performance and really good application.
Which is okay when it's been applied to our own vehicles.
Yes.
Not when you're dealing with a customer.
It's a very hard product to sell to a customer when you're spending time getting the glass ready and then putting on a product that's only going to last a couple of months. That's a really hard sell. I think if you're going to apply a glass coating for a customer through your detailing shop, you probably need something where you can get a year out of it.
I think so, because you need to be able to stand behind the price that you're charging to apply that product. If it's wearing off after 3 months, the value for money is really not there. Like, I don't see how you can offer that. And the struggle right now is, from the products that we've tried, really the only one we can offer that is going to give some longevity but not great performance would be the CarPro G-Force.
And that is on a couple of customers' cars. We haven't had any feedback from it about longevity claims, but they also haven't complained about it either. And so, yeah, I mean, the Angel Wax, there is no problem with putting it on. It's pretty user-friendly. You can let it soak in for as long as you like, really. You can remove it. There is a little bit of buffing required. The performance is really good. You get really good water beading, low speed, no windscreen wiper judder. So if I was to recommend a glass coating to you, or that's what I would do, and you can apply it to yourself in your garage. It's really easy.
It's foolproof, that one there. I think the 2 products that we're going to try in that category will be Armour Detail Supply, their glass coating.
Yes.
And then Angel Wax also have a glass ceramic coating. So I think, given we really like the Angel Wax spray product, I think we've got to try their more stout. I think it might be called Exodus. Don't quote me on that, but those are 2 that I want to try out.
And we've also tried the Geon Quick View that came in sort of like an applicator thing with a sponge on it, and you sort of went around like that.
For a beginner, that's like the easiest product to try.
But again, performance wasn't good enough. But then they also do have their own standalone ceramic coating, which we probably need to try out.
Yeah, okay, so probably a couple in the Geon line. So there's some that we need to continue trying there.
And the other thing that is quite new to us, and something that we're trying to add into our detailing process, is that once we've got the glass coating on the glass, I want to be able to pair that with a hydrophobic glass cleaner.
Yep.
And so I think it's kind of like, I talk about this quite a lot, I think about it like paint. So you put the ceramic coating onto your paint, and then you're going to use a drying aid, or you're going to use a topper on your paint. I think you can do the same with glass. So you put your glass coating on, and then you can then clean the exterior of your glass with a hydrophobic product.
Well, that's where you talk about it being really important, that one of the characteristics we're looking for from this product is that it works well with whatever we decide to layer it with. And we're not going to go, oh, okay, we cannot get overspray on that part of the glass because we're going to end up with a smeary mess. It's got to work hand in hand.
And so far what I've found is that the glass cleaning products with the hydrophobic properties have been really smeary and really difficult to use. So we've made a video on the CarPro Clarify with the hydrophobics. We've done one with Grio's Garage, and they just are a smeary mess. So you put it down, it smears, and it doesn't matter how I apply it. 1 spritz, 2 spritzes, the whole bottle, hot conditions, cold conditions, was the glass polished, was it not? And so far we've stumbled across this. We're still testing this.
We are still testing this. This is from Ethos, Clarity V2.
And so this product goes down, it doesn't matter if I do 1 spray, it recommends 1 or 2 sprays, but if I put the whole bottle down, I can then wipe it clean for the first wipe, then I flip to the microfiber and it flashes. Okay. Now, something very interesting that I haven't seen in the other 2 products is flashing off. And I think the flashing off has basically reduced the ability to have streaking. Yeah,
because we've had that streaking with pretty much every other product in this category that we've tried, in particular the CarPro one. It probably ended up with the worst streaking.
And you know, this is not going to have hydrophobics on the glass like your glass coating. It's not going to give you that at all, but it's just a little topper. So don't expect great hydrophobics from this because this is not the product. This is an additional to the glass coating.
And we're still testing this, so I think if this makes the cut,
but that is definitely a step in the right direction. I think the concept that we've been toying with is definitely right. The downfall with this product is that it sort of looks real clumpy in the bottle.
It's really clumpy.
It doesn't really mix that well. It's kind of like a chocolate milkshake, and you've still got a bit of Nesquik stuck in the bottom, you know?
There's some type of soluble or something in there that we might need to ask the guys at Ethos just around why has that happened, because it's hit an extreme temperature, hot or cold, and it's
shipping. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll ask them a question about that, but I think it's probably a video coming to the channel soon on that. Then we've got the final category, which is something that we've probably spent the least time with, which is wheel coatings. And that's something that we need to explore a bit more. But we've got two here that we've tried. So we've tried the C5 wheel armor that's been on your Subaru in personal car talking. And then we've got CarPro Deluxe. We're probably on our 10th bottle of this product here. And this has gone on a lot of cars and can be topped with CarPro Gliss as well.
That is not the most exciting product to use. Like, it doesn't have much slickness to it until you apply gliss. It can be a bit grabby, but we do get pretty decent longevity and some good results out of it. But I think there's two camps in this wheel coating category. It's like, camp number one is you need to have a specific wheel coating because of the high temperatures and the high temperatures that the brakes give off to the wheels. The other camp is it's a waste of time because these ceramic coatings that you apply to your paint is going to get to high temperatures anyway, and they already have high temperature resistance, and so you don't really need one. You can just apply the standalone. I'm not really sure what the thing is, but I know that we've found an okay product. I think we need to hunt a bit more, and I think maybe Armour Detail Supply, their wheel coating is one that people talk about a lot, so we need to try that out.
It is, and I think the thing that we've been doing on our personal cars for a while now is using a product like Easy Beads from Armour Detail, and you kind of negate the high heat longevity around a coating on there, because every wash you just apply a few spritzes of a spray product like this, rinse it off, and if it's just the hydrophobics that you're after.
Well, it's water activated, so that rinse off is really key because that's what activates the product. So you're not putting much effort in to apply that.
No, you're not. And if it's just water behavior you're after, you're going to get that with a product like this. So the wheel category and the glass category is definitely two areas that we need to spend a bit more time with some different products. But I think for us, this here right now, this is pretty hard to beat. You know, we've got, do you want CSL, which we know based on your daily driver, you can get 5 years performance out of that there if you look after and wash it regularly. And then this here as well, pretty great combo. You've got that on the range. I've got that on the WRX. So we stand behind these as products that, you know, we use in our own vehicles, and they've been on there for years and years. That would be my pick right now.
And then the pick for the glass coating would be this kind of combo here, and then the wheel coating would be probably Gliss, but maybe try ADS wheel coating because I think that's probably where you're going to be. But that's a really sort of in-depth overview on our ceramic coatings, and it's definitely an area that is really hard to test products and really work out which is the best because of how long it takes to prepare the vehicle, and then how long to sit back and wait and see how it performs. Yeah,
we normally at this part of the video would ask for comments. Hey, what should we try? Not going to necessarily call that out in this one because this is really tough for us to try. You know, that's probably a couple of years worth of testing right there in our vehicles anyway, without applying it to customer cars. If there's anything that we're missing that you guys are going, I've tried this, I've got experience with it, it is amazing, you've completely missed it, or it hits a lot of the characteristics that you're looking for in a product, let us know. I'm particularly interested in the glass and the wheel piece because I feel like we found it for paint. I feel like we're kind of getting there with some of these. Yep. But those two categories there, we could do with some help, I think, to kind of figure out what's the best on the market.
So that's it from Omni Garage. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Go back and watch all of our other product category videos because people are really interested in those. There's a lot of information there that you might be looking for. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.